Hi, and welcome to the Toon Goons, the podcast in which we take an adult critical perspective into the world of cartoons and animation and analyze how they affect the pop cultural landscape at large. I'm one of your hosts, Nicky.
I'm Nina.
And I am Tooch.
Yep. Tooch goes last, so he always feels the need to throw some flourish into there.
Yes.
Today, birthday is Labor Day, but we're not taking the day off. We are doing another podcast. Obviously, we're doing another show. Today, we're talking about Barbie Life in the Dreamhouse, and you might be thinking, what the fuck is this? And here's the thing. On this podcast, we only talk about cartoons we like. Or, no, we only dedicate episodes to cartoons we like, and then in the middle of it, we'll talk about cartoons we don't like. But the point is we like this cartoon. It's not a goof. It's really...
Also, you might be wondering what happened to the last thing we said we were going to talk about.
Yeah, here's what happened is that my computer crashed while I was editing our podcast about the Lego movie, and my third of the audio was completely obliterated. I tried everything I could to recover it. It just couldn't. It wouldn't happen. I had like a bunch of panic attacks and shit. It's gone.
Everything isn't awesome.
Yeah, there you go. We might go back and talk about the movie again at a later time, but right now, since we just talked about it, any attempt to recreate that conversation is going to come across as super inorganic and gross.
Or we could do a really inorganic thing where, Nikki, you try to fill in all the blanks of yourself.
That would be like a good lost episode. Tweet Me Harder did that once, and you're not supposed to mention shows that are better than your show on your show, so I'll stop at that. But
I do it all the time.
Maybe for April Fool's Day.
On Double Jump, I do that shit all the time. I don't care.
So we're going to start with news, and for once, I found some news stories. Now, to be fair, Nina would have found them eventually. I just found them first.
Yeah, Tooch also found a news story, but I also found it first.
That's why we got her. That's why she's here.
Yeah, because Tooch and I are a couple of chuckle fucks. And
yep.
What? This show would be so bad if it was just you and me.
Should we do one without her one time just to see?
I mean, like maybe like during finals or something, because
oh my god,
we're done with school.
That'll and, for a third host, we have a potato with a name tag, Nina, that will not speak because it's potato, but it'll be there to help us feel better.
Well, it better be about a show that I don't care about. If it's something I want to talk about.
That's when we'll talk about China, Illinois. I tried to get
yeah.
Nina into it; she wasn't digging it.
Nope.
Dude, let's get Alex on for China.
Yeah, we could do that.
He is baby cakes.
All right. First piece of news, and I think this was the biggest piece of cartoon news of the week, was that they're doing. I don't know if it's a new SpiderMan show or if this is just.
It's not.
Okay, this is what the Ultimate SpiderMan cartoon is going to become a show about Miles Morales.
No, it's not.
No.
What?
It's not.
Yeah,
Fuck.
You're wrong every single time.
You didn't read the story.
At all.
Miles Morales is going to be in the Ultimate Spider-Man in just one episode? Fuck that.
Yes, it's a parallel world episode, like the Spider-Man comic book storyline where Peter Parker accidentally falls into the Ultimate universe and meets Miles, and he's like, Peter, you're kind of dead here, and he's like, what?
Yeah, didn't you watch the clip?
I watched the...
Because that whole thing is that he'll interact with Ultimate Dimension Spider-Man.
Yeah, well, the thing is that that's kind of also what's going on in the comics themselves. All right.
Yeah.
Backing up a bit. There's going to be an episode of the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon featuring Miles Morales, a.k.a. the Black Spider-Man. He's...
Latino, too.
Oh, yeah. He's also that. Yeah, he's a really good character, actually.
It's much more interesting than Peter.
At this point, Peter Parker's been around for 700 years, so of course he's boring. All these characters who have been around forever are boring. There's nothing else to do with them. He was interesting. And the real kicker is that Miles Morales is going to be voiced by Donald Glover. Now, some history here. And this is actually something I did learn about reading the article. Miles Morales' creation was actually in regard to that thing that happened with Donald Glover on Twitter a couple of years ago where somebody said, hey, you know who would make a good Peter Parker? Donald Glover. And then a bunch of people were like, yeah, he would make a great Peter Parker. And Donald Glover was all like, yeah, I'd love to play Peter Parker. You fucking kidding me? And then a bunch of racists were like, absolutely fucking not.
Peter Parker is white. He can't not be white. If he's not white, then the world will collapse.
Yeah,
And all
the
that
same
kind of
base, typical racist bullshit that nerds always do. And then Miles Morales was created by, I want to say Grant Morrison?
I don't think so. He invented Damian Wayne. I know that. But
There's this amazing thing called Wikipedia that we have access to.
I'm trying
to-
Can you look it up? I'm trying to not open other windows so my computer doesn't crash and we don't lose
He was
another.
created by Brian Michael Bendis.
That's
and artist
the
Sarah
other guy.
Pichelli.
Yeah. Yeah, and he created, in regard to that controversy, he's like, there should be a black Spider-Man. Now, of course, they had to put in the Ultimate Universe that people don't care about it as much, and it's kind of a mess. And here's actually the thing, is that, like, from what I've read of the current arc, it's like, Peter Parker was dead in that universe, so Miles Morales took up the mantle. And then, now he's back, and Morales thinks that he's a clone, and I'm like, oh my god, this might go someplace really stupid. I don't want this comic to be stupid, because I like
why
the
do
character.
they think that clones will work when clones have never ever gone well in the Marvel universe?
Especially for
ever?
Spider-Man. It's the worst thing that's
Specifically
ever happened
Spider-Man.
to Spider-Man is clones. And a lot of
Also the
stupid
devil.
things have happened. No, it's stupider than the devil.
Oh
It
no!
can't- no, it's
Do you not know about the Clone Saga?
I know about the clones.
They
As a
The
clone-
devil-
Every
every
one
couple
for
of years,
years.
every couple of years they're like, no, this guy's actually the real Peter Parker. No, wait, this guy's the real Peter Parker. They do that. It's dumber.
Okay. Another fun fact.
Weigh in on which Spider-Man storyline you think is dumber on Twitter. Hashtag the Toon Goons.
Another fun fact about Miles Morales' creation is that he was discussed a few months before the election of Barack Obama, because they were like, we're standing on the precipice of a new era of America. Maybe we should make more characters.
We're
that
slightly
reflect-
less racist now.
Maybe we should
Slightly.
reflect the actual
little
reality
bit.
of the country we live in.
Kind of.
Yeah, and now they're starting to do it with their real universe with like Ms. Marvel and the new Ghost Rider. Both of which are really good books if you're not reading. They're fantastic.
Anyway, back to the show. There's a clip up that you can watch where they first encounter each other. Drake Bell's playing Peter Parker.
What?
Yeah, honestly, I think he does a good job.
Yeah.
He does. It's just kind of interesting because Miles Morales is supposed to be much younger than Peter Parker, but Donald Glover sounds much older than Drake Bell.
Yeah.
So it looks kind of funny.
Yeah, it's a little hard to believe Donald Glover as a 13-year-old Spider-Man, but I'll take it.
Yeah.
Actually, part of the thing, I didn't get that excited about it because it's like, oh, this stupid fucking clone universe continuity. Just tell a story about Miles Morales swinging around and kicking a man. Fuck.
Yeah. And it was funny, in the clip it was funny because Peter Parker's like, oh, you must be one of my alternate universe versions, a different Peter, and then Miles is like, no. He's like, oh yeah, sure you are. And then he takes off his mask and he's like, no. And Peter's like, oh.
Oh, I can't be black. I'm Peter Parker. Even Peter Parker's a racist. So that's that. Man, I should have read that entire article. I look like a real dummy.
Yeah.
More proof why Nina only does the news.
God Christ.
Anyway.
Every time we see news articles, just like, Nina, make sure that you read up on this and make sure that we're not a couple of dipshits.
Yeah, I read the first paragraph of that one I found, and then I stopped.
Yeah, I got so fascinated. It's like,
Jesus,
oh,
you guys.
Miles
Well, I
Morales
knew
was...
you would read it.
Because it's like, I got so hung up on the fact that, oh, Miles Morales was inspired by the Donald Glover thing. That's interesting. I'll talk about that on the podcast. Close tab.
Okay, so a short story. Miyazaki received the Governor's Award from the Academy this week.
Just
Which-
the Academy? Just
which
the...
Academy?
The Academy.
The
Oh, the
Illuminati?
Oscar one?
The Oscar one.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Why do they get to be the Academy?
They're just the Academy.
A bunch of old farts that are almost dead.
The Governor's Award recognizes lifetime achievements. So they're like,
yeah.
we should probably
This
honor him now that he's probably not going to make a feature film again. Though I think he's working on a short film for the museum, but like, so yeah, he's finally getting recognized.
well,
By people who've probably never seen more than 2 of his movies, if that.
yeah, I was gonna say.
One of his movies.
I was gonna say, Spirited Away did win the Oscar it was nominated for, as it should have. that year, but
I'm sure half of the people who made that decision went, "Wait, he did other stuff? Wow."
I don't know. Did you know that they make cartoons in other countries?
Yeah, so it's like an honorary Oscar statue, so he can put that in his room or throw it away.
Or
I was
not,
about
because
to say,
he seems like the kind of guy who... He seems like the kind of guy who wouldn't be all like, "Look at my award." He'd be all like, "I'm going to write a story." Because I'm fucking... I've got stories inside me, and I'm going to say I'm going to say heartbreaking things on image sets in Tumblr.
Yep, that's what he says. That's exactly what he thinks.
In more, I guess, Eastern news, but
In more news from the mystical Orient.
But also mixed with America, South Korea's Studio Mir Inc. is going to create a multi-series deal with DreamWorks Animation.
Hella.
So Studio Mir, they're responsible for The Legend of Korra, as well as like other things.
But most notably Korra.
Most notably Korra right now. And they just forged a 4-year contract with DreamWorks Animation spanning 4 animated TV series. Which is kind of a big deal, because DreamWorks TV series are usually just like those kind of cheap 3D knockoffs of their movie properties.
Yeah.
And this could be a chance for them to actually expand their animation department.
Great.
And like do something different than just making movies and then making spin-offs of movies. They could actually just make original series.
That'd be cool.
That'd be so great.
Because none of the DreamWorks series have ever really worked.
No.
No.
I've never seen the Dragons one, but the fact that people don't seem to care about it indicates to me that it just doesn't work. I've never seen anything of it. Like I've never seen like any images or anything. It feels like it just failed to register.
Yeah, it's just it's like exactly what you think it is. Like I've seen like one episode. It's like exactly what you think it is. It belongs in like the 90s or something. It feels like I can't even explain it. It's just this weird subtle atmosphere of this isn't that great.
Yeah, like we want money without having to try very hard. And it says each series is expected to be a 78 episode 2D show.
Oh, 2D.
2D?
That's what it's
2D. Now I'm excited. What?
Because dude, their production art for their 3D movies is phenomenal. Like their art books and shit.
Studio Mir doesn't do 3D; they do 2D. And this is an unprecedented kind of contract, honestly. Like 4 deals, 4-year contract with 4 different series.
Yeah. I mean, DreamWorks hasn't made any 2D stuff in like 75 years, but the 2D stuff they made was good. Like they made fucking Prince of Egypt.
That movie was really good.
I'm trying to think of what else they did.
Didn't they also do El Dorado?
They did El Dorado here, which
we weren't allowed to watch because our mom said it was
gay.
Racist.
Oh,
it kind of is, because the white Spaniards are the heroes of the indigenous people, and that's like couldn't be further from the truth. They were monsters.
Yeah. Our mom and like her friend who is Brazilian were so pissed when this movie came out. They're like, "You guys cannot watch this. This is lies. This is not what happened." So I actually don't think I've ever seen the whole movie.
I don't know if this is true anymore, but
it's not like they're conquistadors. They're just 2 assholes who accidentally found El Dorado.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do they save them from the conquistadors?
No, I mean,
it's a matter of framing.
Yeah, there's still some white...
Because they're fooling the native people into thinking there's something they're not.
Yeah, and there's a lot of white savior bullshit in there.
Half of the natives look at them like... A few of the main character natives look at them like, what the fuck are these 2 idiots doing pretending to be gods? Like, I'm so obvious they're not, but like, it's more like I don't even know. I thought it was... Yeah. I thought it was just as harmless as any Disney movie about not white people that you could also claim gets everything wrong.
I think that argument could be made. It's just, for us specifically, it was a familial issue. Yeah. I don't know if this is true anymore, but for a long time, that was the only DreamWorks movie to not turn a profit.
No. Because there was also the Sinbad movie.
Sinbad. I was going
Oh,
to say.
Sinbad
I don't think
didn't
that
either?
made much money.
They were going to do a shit ton of, like, Road to Whatever movies with Miguel and Tulio, and they were going to do a bunch of Sinbad movies and get all his tales, but neither of them made any money, so they never made sequels.
Yeah.
Okay. Next story.
The other one I discovered before you did was that they're gonna finally remaster and release Cowboy Bebop on Blu-ray.
Yes. This November, I believe.
This November.
Which means it'll also be available for streaming on the internet forever.
Yes,
Well, like
Legally.
on like Funimation.com or whatever.
Funimation now owns Bebop, so it's going to be on Funimation.com, which means it'll probably also be on Hulu. So you can watch it legally now.
So great.
I'm excited to have the opportunity to do that. I've never seen it.
I've never finished it. I always start and then something happens and my friend who has the DVD has to leave.
Any other news?
Yes. So Warner Brothers is moving forward with the Acme feature. This is a film that they've been working on. It's a Looney Tunes spin-off centered around the Acme Corporation. The guys that have all those weapons and the barrels and the explosions.
All of Wile E. Coyote's inventions.
The film has been in development since 2010, but it's not going to star any of the actual Looney Tunes characters. But apparently it is happening. So we have scriptwriters. We have Ashley Miller and Zach Stens from X-Men First Class, Thor, and Top Gun 2.
As writers?
Writers.
Yeah.
Scriptwriters. And then directors Glenn Ficarra and John Requa.
Rayquaza?
Requa.
Requa.
They directed Crazy Stupid Love and Focus. I don't know either of those movies.
I saw Crazy Stupid Love in Colombia. It was, for a rom-com, you could do a lot worse.
Yeah. It said it was initially planned as a live-action film, and it now says it will be a live-action animation hybrid, like Space Jam, in the style of like Space Jam and Looney Tunes back in action.
They should not compare it to those movies.
Can we not do that?
Say
ever?
Say Roger
Hey,
Rabbit.
Why
guys,
wouldn't they
remember
say
Roger
Roger
Rabbit? Remember Mary
Because
Poppins?
Roger Rabbit was actually really technologically advanced, and I think they're just going to cut corners with CGI.
Remember
people
one of
say
the
that-
several nails in Brendan Fraser's career's coffin?
That guy keeps breaking out of that coffin.
Yeah.
But I'm about to just repeat a Bim Bam joke, so I'm not going to go there. But yeah, like
Apparently...
Like, wasn't there a thing where like they considered making a sequel to Roger Rabbit, but the talent for 2D animation of that kind just isn't there anymore?
Well,
not in the U.S. probably, because most of the stuff we export, the actual bulk animation crap.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm
I
not
mean,
sure the specifics, but it was my understanding that like that movie just couldn't be made today.
Probably not.
I don't think anybody would go through the trouble to make it like that.
I don't think it was ever because like the guy who directed it, Robert Zemeckis. Well, actually, he directed the live action shit. The art director was Richard Williams. I just looked at the book I own by him on making cartoons since you remember his name. But Zemeckis, everybody knew Zemeckis back then in like the 80s and stuff for making good movies. Everyone knows him now for him developing an enormous mocap boner and making a bunch of mediocre mocap movies.
Is he the Monster House, the Polar Express guy?
Yeah,
he's Polar Express, Christmas Carol, Beowulf.
I don't even remember Beowulf.
Yeah, but he wanted to make Roger Rabbit, and he was like, it's a mixture of live action and animation. Know what else is a mixture of live action and animation, guys? Mocap is mocap!
Okay, other things we know about it. Steve Carell is attached as the lead, as a Steve Jobs kind of character. And Lego movie producers Roy Lee and Dan Lin will be producing the film.
Alright.
I'm excited, honestly. Because if they're going so far as to not include any Looney Tunes characters, they're actually trying to make this be its own thing.
Yeah, it's an odd decision, but I think it's an important one that's gonna make it.
That's
work.
like the tip. That's like the key decision. That probably was the key decision in the process. Like, do we include Looney Tunes characters? No, because every time we do, it ends poorly.
Yeah, and then they can actually create something original and fun, and you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we don't know anything about the Acme Corporation. You can do anything with
like,
that.
It never even because I'm a huge Looney Tunes fan. Like, Looney Tunes raised me. Like,
well, yeah.
They raised everybody, but I don't know. Like, but anyway, so like, I never even considered the Acme Corporation to be a real thing. Like, I never thought about it that hard. I was just like, oh, it's a running joke that all the stuff comes from this place called Acme. But like, I read that title this morning, and I was like, oh my god, it's a place. It's a place with people who work there and come up with this stupid shit. I need to meet these people.
I know.
I remember like seeing I think a grocery store that was called Acme, and I'm like,
oh yeah,
like from the cartoons. Like every time I saw as a kid, every time I saw something called Acme, I thought it was all interconnected.
Oh yeah,
as if it's not just kind of like a regular word.
Acme's a grocery store here. There's an Acme. I can walk to the Acme right now. I went there today to cash my check, but then I remembered it was Labor Day and went home. But anyway, yeah. I grew up around Acme's, so I always had I differentiated them early in my life, so I don't even think about it anymore.
I see. We got
have one last short piece of news.
All right.
Distributor G Kids has set Friday, December 19th as the North American release date for the film Song of the Sea, which is the follow-up to Secret of Kells by the same people. It'll be opening in New York and Toronto around that time, and Los Angeles, and should be in major theaters for the holidays. So it's going to be a holiday movie. So watch it with your grandma and your peepaw and all your family, because it's going to be great. It's going to warm your heart, I think.
We'll all
be really sad.
We'll all cry.
Cry into grandma's frock.
Her shawl. Okay.
All right. Let's get into the show.
Yay.